He's with us for almost 20 years, so it's really hard, to have a family on trial.
And 2 years later, Larry Millete, the man accused of killing his missing wife, is in court today for a preliminary hearing. We have team coverage from inside the courtroom to a timeline of everything we know about Maya's disappearance. We'll also show you how community members have come together to support Maya's family, the ways they're trying to find her over the years.
These kinds of disruptions should not happen.
Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg speaking out on the unexpected grounding of U.S. flights this morning. The impacts at San Diego International as flights remain delayed.
ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
Today we will finally hear the evidence that led police to charge Larry Millete with the murder of his wife, Maya. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jared Aarons. Maya disappeared 2 years ago. She's still missing, but her husband Larry is in court today charged with murder. My co-anchor Virginia Cha is leading our team coverage of today's preliminary hearing. She is live outside of San Diego's Hall of Justice. Good morning, Virginia.
Hello there, Jared. So right now, Larry Millete is facing the judge, who will ultimately decide if there is enough evidence to move this case forward to trial. Now, before we talk about what's happening inside the courtroom, I want to refresh your memory on Maya. Now, you've probably seen her face a million times on flyers, on TV, maybe even a billboard. Maya, who was also known as May, was a mother of 3. Her sister has told us so many times how much Maya's children meant to her. She was an adventurer. She loved spending time outdoors, hiking, dirt bike riding, and traveling with her kids. She had a lot of talents. Videos from her YouTube account show her playing the guitar and singing with joy, sometimes with her children. But she became widely known for a heartbreaking reason. January 7th, 2021, 2 years ago, was the last time anyone saw or heard from her. Now, again, we want to make sure we point out that her husband, Larry Millete, has been charged with her murder, even though Maya has not been found. Let's check in with ABC 10 News reporter Marie Cornell, who was in the courtroom when that hearing started this morning. And she's jumped down here so she can give us an update. Marie, this preliminary hearing to determine what happens next is expected to last longer than most.
Yeah, Virginia, we are told this could last up to 3 weeks. I actually took a look at the witness list for the prosecution. They are planning to call 25 people to testify. And remember, that's only the prosecution list. We still need the defense list. So obviously, a lot of people involved in this preliminary hearing. Now, much of the morning really focused on motions where Larry Millete, he was in court, he was present. However, the judge had asked those who are testifying to leave the courtroom. He also would not allow the media to record inside during this portion. So that is why you are looking at video from a previous court appearance of Larry Millete. Now, Larry was there, as I mentioned. He was wearing a business suit, a mask, and he again is accused of murdering his wife, Maya, who disappeared in January of 2021. Now, much of the motions were really focused on verbal and written statements. The prosecution wants to bring into evidence, which includes text messages between Maya and her sister regarding borrowing money for a divorce attorney. So there are a number of relatives of Maya's who are inside of the courtroom. Some of them will be asked to testify. We also saw a number of members of the community who have been involved in the search efforts. They are also here this morning. We do have a crew inside of the courtroom right now, so we're keeping an eye on what's going on in there, and we'll have another update for you coming up in 30 minutes. We are live from downtown. Marie Cornell, ABC 10 News.
Thank you, Marie. In fact, we are just getting an update that the court is taking a little bit of a break for about 15 minutes. Of course, we'll be on top of it when they start those proceedings again. Now, one thing Maya's sister, Mary Chris, has emphasized is that seeing someone, remember, that they considered to be a family member for 20 years, is now in court, and this has not been easy. At the same time, they're holding on to hope that Maya will be found and brought home to be laid to rest. So here's what Mary Chris told ABC 10 News reporter Laura Acevedo just last week.
This might be a little tough to answer. Do you guys still have hope that one day you'll have the answers that you've been looking for since the very first time I spoke to you?
Oh, yeah. That's all we're hoping and praying for. It's
that we'll find her. We can bring her home and we'll have closure. And that's all we want. I hope it's going to be tomorrow. That, you know, we pray every day that it's going to be tomorrow that we bring my sister home.
2 years later, they are still hanging on to that tomorrow. A similar hope for the volunteers, by the way, who have been by this family's side, searching for any signs of Maya.
There was still a lot of unanswered questions about where she was located. And so I'm hoping that he has a change of heart and that we get some insight into where we could possibly search to find her.
So in the process of searching for Maya, strangers have turned into advocates and some of the biggest supporters of Maya's family. In fact, the reason why you don't see a lot of people outside is that many of them are in the courtroom today. They have held virtual prayer meetings. They have held rallies and searches every week. Many of the volunteers never even met Maya, but have taken on this mission to make sure she is not forgotten and that her family doesn't feel alone. And we're going to hear more from them and why they have felt compelled to help despite not knowing Maya. I'm going to have that for you in about a few minutes, about 11:15 here. Now, remember, the district attorney's office has referred to this case as one of domestic violence. So before I send it back to the studio, I just want to remind you guys out there watching that there are resources to help people dealing with domestic violence. Let's put the number on the screen. This is the National Domestic Violence Hotline. The number is 1-800-799-7233. You can also chat with trained counselors 24 hours a day through the San Diego County District Attorney's Office. We have put a link to their site on our website, 10news.com. Just click on the Resource Center tab. All right, I'm going to be out here this whole hour keeping tabs on what's going on. For now, let's send it back to my co-anchor, Jared Aarons, in the studio.
Welcome back. Right now, the family of Maya Millete are in court, along with the man accused of killing her. Today is day one of the preliminary hearing for Larry Millete, Maya's husband. My co-anchor, Virginia Chaw, has been leading our team coverage today live outside of the Hall of Justice. Virginia, there are so many people there to support Maya's family through this.
It is an incredible group, Jared. We're talking mostly volunteers. They have played a huge part in keeping the attention focused on finding Maya. Her sister Mary Chris has told us the volunteers are the ones who give her strength. This has become a full-time job for Mary Chris Droulet, who quit work to focus on searching for her sister Maya. They have not held a search in a couple of months because now they wanted to spend the time preparing for Larry's preliminary hearing. Now, a lot of the volunteers were once strangers. They have since bonded over the need to get answers for Maya's family, especially her children.
I'm a mother of 2 kids, and she's been missing for 23 days. I can't even imagine what it must be like for those kids, and I want answers for them.
That's from one of the first searches back in January 2021, when Maya had been missing for 23 days. 2 years later, those volunteers are still by the family's side.
Didn't know the family, didn't know anything about her, never met her beforehand, never heard of her beforehand, and started searching. And from then on, it just became like a weekend thing. We started searching, helping the family out, because if I was put in that situation, I would want someone to help me out too.
And I just felt like that hearing her story, and if she was out there missing, that there needed to be people to volunteer and step up to find her. She had a family and a set of friends that loved her dearly, and she didn't deserve to be missing, and they deserve answers.
That's Millete Gordon. She is one of about 24 volunteers who completed a 28-hour certification course in search and rescue tracking, just so they would be better able to help find clues that could lead to Maya. Mile after mile, search after search, prayer after prayer, reflecting this group's dedication to bringing Maya home.
That has been our main focus, is to not stop until Maya is found. It has been a tremendous effort. You know, it takes a village to do this.
I know they will continue to search for Maya no matter what until they bring Maya home.
We talked with Maya's sister about this support and how much it has meant to the family to have all these strangers, now friends, behind them.
In a long time, and it's still, you know, people are still giving us that support and love that we feel, you know, sent our way. So we are very thankful for that, and that's, kept us going. These people are giving us strength to keep us going.
Well, Larry's preliminary hearing again starting a little over an hour ago. We will, of course, continue to update you from here outside the Central Courthouse downtown. We're outside the Hall of Justice here. For now, I want to send it back to Jared in the studio. Jared, really emotional day.
It seems like it, absolutely. Thank you, Virginia.
It's been 2 years. That January 7 marks the last time we heard anything from my sister.
Just days after marking a somber anniversary, the family of Maya Millete gets to face her accused killer in court. Welcome back. Today is the preliminary hearing for Larry Millete, Maya's husband, who's charged with her murder. My co-anchor Virginia Cha is outside the Hall of Justice downtown, leading our team coverage of today's hearing. Virginia, this is just the beginning of the legal process, but the family hopes this hearing will reveal some new information about Maya's disappearance.
Yeah, imagine, Jared, the frustration. After 2 years, we still don't know where Maya is or what exactly happened to her. Her sister, Mary Chris, her family, the volunteers who've been helping look for Maya are hoping some new details will be coming out during this hearing that could help narrow down the search. Larry Millete, Maya's husband, has been in custody since October 2021, more than a year. It has taken all this time to get to the preliminary hearing, partly because his attorney asked for a mental competency evaluation, as we've been reporting, to determine if he was fit to stand trial. A judge announced this past September that Larry is competent to stand trial, so that leads us to today and a hearing that will decide if there's enough evidence to go to trial. ABC 10 News reporter Marie Coronel has been inside the courtroom monitoring the proceedings. Evidence is being presented. So, Marie, it is going to take days for the prosecution to make their case for trial.
Yeah, Virginia, most of the morning has really been focused in on what evidence the judge will allow in this preliminary hearing. About 15 minutes ago, we are told that this portion has wrapped up and they have already called their first witness. This is the prosecutors calling their first witness. I want to show you brand new video now showing Larry Millete in court. He's sitting with his lawyers wearing a business suit. Now, we can't see his face or reaction to what's being said because he is wearing a mask. Larry, again, is accused of murdering his wife, Maya, who disappeared in January of 2021. Right now, a woman who works at a law firm in Chula Vista is being questioned. She is talking about a conversation she had with Maya in which she points out Maya did not want to meet in person as she was worried about someone finding out about this meeting. Again, she is on the stand right now. I took a look at the witness list, and the prosecution plans to call 25 people to testify, including some family members of Maya. And that's not even the defense's list. We are told that the preliminary hearing could last up to 3 weeks. We do have a crew inside of the courtroom right now, and we will share the developments on air as well as online. Reporting from downtown, Marie Coronel, ABC 10 News.
Thank you, Marie. The whirlwind investigation into this has been part of a complicated case. So on 21, just days after Maya was reported missing, ABC 10 News heard from Maya's husband, Larry, who told us they had argued before Maya disappeared.
We've been having, like problems.
About 11 days after that interview, Chula Vista police executed a search warrant at Maya's home. Until then, they say Larry had cooperated with this investigation. That all changed in early February when Chula Vista police said Larry had retained a lawyer. Now, on May 5th, 2021, a temporary gun violence restraining order was issued against Larry. By July of that year, he was named a person of interest in Maya's disappearance. All of that led up to the announcement on October 19th, 2021, that Maya's family was hoping it would not come to.
The Chula Vista Police Department SWAT team served an arrest warrant and arrested Larry Millete for the murder of his wife.
Now, Larry has denied any involvement in Maya's disappearance. Prosecutors laying out some, for lack of a better word, bizarre details after saying they believe Larry killed his wife and mother of their 3 children because Maya wanted a divorce. Police say Larry was so desperate to keep his family together, he sent hundreds of emails to various companies which appear to sell spells. They say the contacts included psychics, spirit channelers, and white light practitioners. In December 2020, before Maya disappeared, the police affidavit shows Larry told one spellcaster, quote, "Please punish May and incapacitate her enough so she cannot leave the house. It's time to take the gloves off," end quote. The document also shows just days before she vanished, Maya had reportedly told a friend Larry once choked her until she passed out. Police documents say Larry became paranoid that Maya was going to leave him and that he began monitoring her whereabouts, showing up unannounced at her work to see if she was with another man. Larry never reported his wife missing, though he allowed police to look through his phone for text messages with her. Officers noted all the messages between the couple before January 9, 2021 had been deleted. Now, there's an important note that we want to make about Larry's arrest. It happened in October, which marks Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Now, a detail not lost on District Attorney Summer Stephan nor on every police officer and official present during that news conference, not to mention Maya's family. They were all wearing purple ribbons, the color worn to honor and support those who have experienced domestic violence. We want you to know there is help out there. The number for the National Domestic Violence Hotline is on your screen, 1-800-799-7233. You can also chat with trained counselors 24 hours a day through the San Diego County District Attorney's offices. We have put a link to their website on our website, 10news.com. Just click on the Resource Center tab. Now, through all of this, Maya's children have been left without either parent. We blurred their faces because we do want to protect their privacy. They are 6, 11, and 12 years old. They've been living with Larry's parents since Maya disappeared. Meanwhile, Maya's sister Mary Chris has been fighting for guardianship. When we talked to her last Friday, Mary Chris told us they have visitation rights. She couldn't tell us much about the fight for guardianship, though, but she did tell us the children are healthy and they're doing well in school. So that is something, that's that piece of hope. Of course, we're going to continue team coverage of this hearing throughout the day because it's going to continue this afternoon. Right now, we want to send it back to Jared in the studio.
We've been talking about Maya Millete. She's the mother of 3 from Chula Vista who has been missing for 2 years. Let's go back now to my co-anchor, Virginia Cha, who is live outside of the Hall of Justice, where Maya's husband, who is also the suspect in her disappearance, is right now. Virginia, this case has touched so many people in our community.
So many, Jared. In fact, some are here today in the courtroom. These are people who have been part of the team of volunteers searching for Maya, though most never met her. They say they need to support Maya's family. Now, some are turning to art to show their support. We met Maribel Hernandez about a month after Maya vanished. Maribel had started painting rocks for Maya and placing them along hiking trails and parks because, as I mentioned earlier, Maya loved to hike and spend time outdoors.
I just feel a connection to her because I'm a mother. We're the same age. And I just feel like what happened to her could have been me, could have been any other person. I feel like if her children see these rocks in the neighborhood, like maybe bring some hope. And also for all the people that are out there helping to look for Maya, so maybe a little form of encouragement.
The goal was for people not only to notice these rocks, but to keep Maya on their minds. Few could have predicted back then that they would still be searching for answers. I'm going to be hanging around out here and have another update for you on what's happening inside the courtroom after the break. Now, let's get back to the studio. I'm ABC 10 News anchor Virginia Cha, live outside the Hall of Justice downtown, where the important preliminary hearing for Larry Millete is underway right now. Motions took up the first hour or so of this hearing. 36 motions from the prosecution, which included introducing certain conversations between Maya, her friends, family, and co-workers. The judge is allowing that. The first witness is on the stand right now. She works at a law firm in Chula Vista, and she's being questioned about a conversation she had with Maya. The prosecution laying out evidence which the judge will consider to decide if there is enough to go to trial. That could take weeks. Larry, remember, is charged with the murder of his wife, Maya, who has not been seen since January 7th, 2021. We are streaming the preliminary hearing live right now. If you want to find that, just go to our website, 10news.com. Jared, back to you. I'm ABC 10 News anchor Virginia Cha, live outside the Hall of Justice downtown, where the important preliminary hearing for Larry Millete is underway right now. Motions took up the first hour or so of this hearing. 36 motions from the prosecution, which included introducing certain conversations between Maya, her friends, family, and co-workers. The judge is allowing that. The first witness is on the stand right now. She works at a law firm in Chula Vista, and she's being questioned about a conversation she had with Maya. The prosecution laying out evidence which the judge will consider to decide if there is enough to go to trial. That could take weeks. Larry, remember, is charged with the murder of his wife, Maya, who has not been seen since January 7th, 2021. We are streaming the preliminary hearing live right now. If you want to find that, just go to our website, 10news.com. Jared, back to you.